Author and nutritionist Robert Ferguson. Please welcome Robert Ferguson.
All right, y'all, let's hear it for America's Fat Lost Coach, Robert Ferguson!
Hey, this is Roberto Lorenzo Ferguson. What's up, everybody? Hey, these are good times, man. I'm going to share some stuff with you today that may just totally blow your mind. Seriously, we're going to talk about cholesterol truths. And there's a lot of things about cholesterol that you are not aware of. You are not aware of. And I'm doing this because I just get so fed up and so tired. I keep hearing people think that cholesterol that they eat is causing all these problems. And I'm going to talk a little bit about statins, and I'm going to talk a little bit about heart disease, and I'm going to talk about stroke. And I'm going to share information with you from a factual standpoint. You can go do your own research, and you will see that I am 100% accurate. And one of the things you're going to do is you're going to go, why hasn't my doctor shared this information with me? Why am I hearing it from this nutritionist who's not my doctor? And then when you find out and you really conclude that it's the truth, that's when you're going to go, man, why do we continue to allow the US Dietary Guidelines, the government, and all these people who have been indoctrinated to influence us to think certain things about health, which moves us further and further away from how we can maximize our personal health? As always, I'm encouraging people, become your own health advocate, because today is the beginning of that moment in time where we got to just take this seriously. You know what I mean? And cholesterol, there's so much talk about it. So much. Now, as I prepare to do this, I want to invite you, if you're new to me, to come and visit over at dietfreelife.com, as well as go to our YouTube channel. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that button so that anytime I upload information or you miss it, you'll be notified, and you can tune in when it works best for you, right? Because this is all about you. Now, everything that I am going to share with you today is being made available and brought to you by the Detox Drop. That's right. You can learn more about the Detox Drop. I have provided links. I'm starting the Detox Drop next week. That's right. I just did it a little over a month ago. I'm ready. I'm ready again. And I think for the rest of the year, what I'm going to do personally is the first 7 days of each month, I'm going to do the Detox Drop. I like it. I love it. And because we know quite a few people are going to want to do the same, some people do it quarterly or when they just feel like they need a jump start, right? A boost. Then once you get the Detox Drop, the next time you do it, all you need is our 7-day VitaBlend, which is the supplements that go with it. Because the menu, you have lifetime access to the Detox Drop booklet. And so as we add more recipes, update it, add more information, you will have access to that. So once you get the Detox Drop, you're in. You're in. Okay, so now you know about that. Let's get into this. How many of you who are catching me live, if you're catching me live, believe that, all right, let me ask this question first. What causes our cholesterol to go up? Anybody want to take a guess? What causes our cholesterol to go up? Or what foods? Like, what do you eat that will cause your cholesterol to rise? Now, I'm going to touch on statins a little bit, but I'm going to share information with you today as we record this on July 3rd, 2023, the day before July 4th, when family and people get together. Some of the information I'm going to share with you will be fun to share with people at the party or the gathering. And you can ask them questions and you'll see how much people don't know when it comes to cholesterol. There's doctors that you are going to talk to after I share what I'm about to share with you that will not know the answer to some of these questions. There's a lot of health advocates that you will talk to do not know what I'm about to share with you. and you can look it up. So you can say, hey, be my guest. Go to PubMed. Go do a Google search. Look it up. And they will see that you're right. And you, because you spent some time with me, were put in a position where you could actually share some truths. And let me share a couple of spotlights. Like one thing, you know how you hear people talk about HDL cholesterol and LDL cholesterol? Did you know that HDL and LDL, they're not cholesterol? They act more like a shuttle. They carry cholesterol. They transport cholesterol. They're not cholesterol. Now, I'm not going to go into great detail on that. I want to make this fun today. I want to really have a good time with you. And I want you to walk away becoming more informed. Now, before I start sharing, thank you, Angela, for being here. Angela shared that sugar may be playing a major role in causing your cholesterol to go up. Inflammation may be playing a role in why your cholesterol is up. Well, here's the deal. If you have a house that is built with glass, the entire house, if someone throws a rock at it, what's the chances of it shattering? What's the chances of it falling apart? Pretty damn high. So what I'm saying is that if information is being made available on a deck of lies, it's all a lie. Okay, case in point. Number one, your liver is the second largest organ. Your skin's number one, but inside your body, your liver is the largest organ that you have. And did you know that your liver makes all the cholesterol your body needs? That's right. Your liver makes all the cholesterol your body needs. And when you look at the gut microbiome, your intestinal tract, your liver, between your liver and your intestines, they make up about 80% of the cholesterol you need to be as healthy as possible. Oh, it's about to get interesting. The liver, which is very important. We talk a lot about fatty liver. The liver is very important. The liver produces and it clears the cholesterol in your body. So your liver is very, 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 very important. Now, did you know this? The liver plays the main role in regulating cholesterol in your body. So we've established that the liver is very important. Also, did you know that when you look at, like, most people think that when you eat eggs, because they're high in cholesterol, that they will cause your cholesterol to be elevated. Or, you're eating saturated fat and all these things. Well, here's the deal. That's not necessarily true. And to certain points of what I'm about to share, it's not true at all. See, your body will make somewhere on average between 2,500 to 3,000 milligrams of cholesterol every day. Our body is making cholesterol. And this is really interesting. When you cut back on consuming cholesterol, your liver makes more cholesterol. When you eat a lot of foods high in cholesterol, your liver makes less cholesterol. Wow. So when they were saying, hey, eggs are high in cholesterol, avoid the yolk, there was that big shift of everybody going with egg whites and then egg beaters. And you saw a whole industry of all these extra products that came about. Well, that egg is 190 milligrams of cholesterol. Your body's making close to 3,000 milligrams a day. We never needed to avoid eggs, you guys. You never needed to avoid shrimp. You never needed to avoid cholesterol. And if you didn't know, now you do. As of 2015, which I'm going to show you, the US Dietary Guidelines, they came out and said, hey, they didn't say it in these words, but they basically said, hey, we made a mistake. We should have never put a limit on you consuming cholesterol. And even in the 60s, Ansel Keys, who's behind a lot of this, said that eating cholesterol does not increase serum cholesterol. But yet you got a lot of people There's still a whole bunch of doctors that are saying, hey, cut back on your cholesterol. Don't eat as much cholesterol. And what's fascinating is how when the US Dietary Guidelines changed as of 2015, there was no press release on it. They didn't apologize. The American Heart Association, they didn't say, hey, we made a mistake. We made a mistake. Back in the 60s, they were like, hey, and I believe it was in 1968 when they came out with the suggestion of 300 milligrams of cholesterol. Don't eat more than that. Let's limit that. And then it was on food labels and all that stuff. They made a mistake. They made a mistake. And there are people still running around that thinks we got to limit our nutrition intake of cholesterol. I mean, cholesterol is so important that your glands, right, use cholesterol to make hormones, specifically sex hormones. Without cholesterol, there is no testosterone. When you go outside, your skin uses cholesterol to make vitamin D when you're in the sun. If you didn't have cholesterol, you ain't getting no vitamin D. That's what's so amazing about the liver, that it will make the cholesterol that you need. So even when we were fooled, bamboozled to avoid cholesterol, our liver was like, hey, they don't know what they're doing. Let's help them out. Okay. This is crazy. This is crazy. And one of the things that really blows my mind, right, is that we know we have trillions of cells. Trillions of cells. And did you know in those cells you have a cell membrane, right? In every cell. Is made by what? Or from what? Yep, you named it. Cholesterol. You would literally fall to pieces if you didn't have cholesterol. And here it is. We demonized cholesterol for years. For years. And there's still people that think you need to avoid cholesterol. So let me show you guys what I'm talking about. Because I always get, mostly as husbands, like I'll be talking to one of my clients and in the background, I'll hear their husband, oh yeah, we got to cut back on that, got to kick back on those eggs because my cholesterol is starting to get a little high. They don't even know why it's high or who came up with the standards on what makes it high. Like who came up with that? Who said that if it's over 200, then that's high? Who? I know. I'm not going to cover that today, but I know. I know how all of this came about. And I know that pharma played a huge role in it. And I know when statins came into the marketplace, and I know that as a result of statins coming into the marketplace, they had to create some type of hierarchy so that they could recommend statins to certain people. Yep, that is the truth. And I know that in 1984, when they finally had established that 200 would be, well, that was in 94. I think it was like 240. And then they brought it down a few years after that to 200. And then they came up with this calculator that said, okay, well, let's say they don't have cholesterol that's 200, their total. But they have diabetes. Well, they should get on a statin now. Oh, man. That's going to be a really fun talk. That's going to be my whole online seminar series that I've been working on for about 8 months that I'm going to be sharing very soon. It's going to be called Cholesterol Truths. Cholesterol Truths. Okay, so let me show you what I think I want to help you out with. Okay. Again, the big claim was, cut back on all the foods that have high cholesterol. Oh, we got to make sure we put it on the label so people can see how much cholesterol is in here. None of that mattered. None of that mattered. Not one time. Okay. Now, if you look close at what I'm sharing on the screen, you'll see that the date in the Washington Post, it says January 7th, 2016. Now, the US Dietary Guidelines came out in 2015. And they go to 2020. So following when they came out with the US Dietary Guidelines and said that we no longer need to limit our cholesterol, the Washington Post shortly after that did a whole cool little article where they said, hey, eggs are okay again. They should have never been avoided ever. The egg, to include the yolk, is one of the healthiest things that you can consume. Seriously. So the data is clear. Now, if you look here on CNN, and I had to search, you guys, to find some data because it's not just out there as far as it pertains to cholesterol. As you can see here, it says February 19, 2015, cholesterol in food, not a concern. New report says. There it is. But again, I had to search high and low to find articles on this. You have to go into PubMed where they have citations, like major studies where you can see all the real reports. Very challenging because no one's really talking about this. It's like they don't want to eat crow. And then if you look right here, this is in the Washington Post, as I mentioned before. It says at the very, very, very top, old guideline, restrict cholesterol intake to 300 milligrams. So we knew that up until 2015. Then it says 2015 guideline. Okay, let me see. We have that. Look, no limit is included. No limit is included. No limit is included when it comes to cholesterol in the foods that you eat. As I'm sharing this live, it's 2023. 8 years ago. And a lot of people still don't know this. And look at this. It says nutritionists now believe that foods high in cholesterol may not significantly affect cholesterol levels or increase the risk of heart disease in healthy adults. See, these are baby steps that they took because they didn't want to just come out and blatantly. The American Heart Association, they made that statement. They want to live and die by it. So instead of informing, people that we made a mistake and acknowledging and raising their hand, hey, we made a mistake, just don't talk about it. And what's very sad is that when you think about it and look into it, because we experienced this also with the pandemic, right? 1 week they're telling you this, and now you look back 2-3 years ago what they were saying, and now they've had to admit that they made a lot of mistakes and that they were not accurate. The world turned upside down because we believed what they were telling us. They scared us. And wow, now we know the truth. At the end of the day, this is what I encourage all of you. I encourage my clients, anybody I come in contact with. You don't got to trust me, but when you hear something, don't just assume it's accurate. We live in a world today where there is Google. Now, a lot of things get suppressed and it can be really difficult, but find an expert who's an expert in their space and still challenge. But again, the data is so clear, you guys. It's so clear. It's so clear. We could have been eating cholesterol all these years. And when I looked at the consumption of eggs, we literally eat way less eggs today than we did 40, 50, 60 years ago. And that's because many people are still running around, walking around and thinking that egg yolk is going to cause their cholesterol to go up. That's not the truth. It's not the truth. Any questions for me while you got me? Anybody? So no longer. So in the US Dietary Guidelines, which I do stay with, I'm in compliance with, right? In our Diet Free Life coaches, we're in compliance with it. We don't believe in all that it says, but we are in compliance, and we have a methodology that makes it easy to be in compliance. And in compliance, there is no limit on how much cholesterol you can consume. It's not of concern. That is the take home, and that's what I want everybody to get. Okay, so, and our liver is very important. Thank you, liver. Thank you, gut microbiome. They play a huge role in regulating our cholesterol. We need cholesterol. And lastly, I'll just say this. One of my dear friends, I brought this to his attention. He's a physician. and he's been a physician for about 30 years. And when I was talking to him, he kind of had a moment where he just kind of reflected. He says, I remember being in med school. And when I was in med school, we were talking about cholesterol because they're indoctrinated to think and believe and prescribe a certain way. He said that he remembers learning that the liver produces cholesterol. And when you ate less cholesterol while he was in med school, they knew that the liver produces more. And if you ate more cholesterol, the liver produced less. And they just left it at that, which to me, that was like an early sign that, okay, your liver is regulating how much cholesterol you have in your body. It knows. It knows how to create more, and it knows how to create less based on what you eat. So knowing that, if I ate 5 eggs a day, why is that a negative? Because if I eat more cholesterol, my liver will produce less. If I eat less cholesterol, my liver will produce more. And he said there was a moment when he was questioning the limitations they had on cholesterol because it didn't make sense. Just based on what the liver will automatically do. That's amazing to me. I mean, it really is. And so let me leave you with this, because when I do the cholesterol truths, we're going to really dive in. And I have clients who have high levels of cholesterol. Some of them believe it's genetic. Doctors are real quick to put them on statins. And some of my clients who I really have a bond with, I will kind of encourage them a little bit. I mean, I can't tell them, I'm not a physician, so no way or nowhere do I ever say, don't take a statin or, stop taking I don't do that. But I do give them information to put in front of their physicians, and I give them resources and things to look at so they can be informed. That's very important, what I just said. And every doctor's part of their oath is to do no harm and to provide or be in a position where their patients have informed consent. And doctors, if they're not spending that much time, how can they inform you? So then you can consent, so that you can go, yes, I'm making a decision. Yes, I will take that. Yes. If they're not educating, how are you informed? You're not. So what has happened is that they're not really going by the oath. They're the place where it's like, I mean, and I don't mean this to be mean, but they basically are like, look, I'm God. And I know that's not every physician, but they're in a position where if they don't feel they need to make sure we're informed, then they just tell us what to do. It's kind of like I was flipping through the channels and I was on YouTube and I saw, someone was talking about this lady. I don't know her name, but she's a newscaster on MSNBC. And she basically told the audience, the people viewing, right, the news, she says, we will let you know what's important to look at, what's important to watch. I'm like, what? I don't need you to make that decision for me. I want to see the whole seminar, a whole conference, the entire interview. Don't tell me that you're going to only show me what you feel is important for me to be aware of and know. Hell no. It's crazy. You think, man, that is just crazy. Oh, it is just crazy. So we must be informed. We must. Okay. That's it. That's all I wanted to share. I just wanted to share, happy 4th of July for those who catch it before the 4th of July. I hope that you and your family have a great time and that everyone is blessed and you thrive with your health. These are exciting times, and I hope that the information that I shared is of value. And if it is, be kind and just go over to even if you catch me on Facebook or LinkedIn, go over to the YouTube channel and hit like, because that's the only way. As I get likes and subscribers, I'm going to be able to work within the algorithms and reach more people so that more people are informed of this kind of information. It's kind of like, I don't advertise as far as my coaching, and I rely on my clients and friends to tell people about what I do. And as a result of that, I mean, I have like one lady right now who's a client who's absolutely amazing. I think she's referred 20 people to me in like 2 months. I have another client who's referred like 9 people to me in like 2 months. I just got a text from another one of my clients. I think she's referred 8 people to me in the last maybe 2 or 3 months. And then those people are kind of like that. So helping me spread the word and get the word out there, because as I have more coaches that are in the midst of their training, we are in a position where I can feed people over to these different coaches, so we can take on more. And one of my big goals is to help my coaches really get going and start helping people. And as I help them, they're helping people. Then it's like we're just paying it forward. You know what I mean? We're paying it forward. So let me see. Someone just made a comment. Thank Lisa. What's up, Lisa? She says, so is high cholesterol isn't bad. Just started a stat 2 months ago. Okay. I'm going to cover this but you're bringing up a question, so I'm going to answer it, Lisa. Thank you. Okay, you guys, here's the deal. 58% of my clients, I get off statins. We've proven that. Okay, within 12 to 18 months. If we can get you off, you want to be off a statin. You want to get off a statin. And if you only started 2 months ago, now's the time to get off of it. Right? So you don't want to be on statins. And if you don't understand why I'm saying that, go to Google, go statins, whatever statin you're taking, side effects. Just take a look at what they have to report. There's a whole bunch of things they're not reporting. And a lot of the studies that talk about the benefits of statins is flawed. And when I do my cholesterol truths, I'm going to show that. But there's other people that know this and they're sharing it. People who have way more knowledge and been spending way more years sharing these truths before me. And they are great resources that I go to. It's out there. And I have a lot of clients, friends, family, colleagues that have cholesterol numbers, total cholesterol, well over 300 and have absolutely no problem. And the data is pretty clear over the years where having elevated cholesterol like that, it played no role in anything. And one study I was looking at demonstrated pretty clearly that out of 100 people, if you're taking a statin versus not taking a statin, it may increase your ability to live 4 days longer than people who didn't take it. 4 days. Yeah. I'm not taking a statin. I can tell you that right now. Never. And my goal is to help people get off statins. So if I were you, Lisa, you should reach out to us, consider becoming a client, and we'll help you out in a big way. Okay, let me see here. Angela asks, where do we get the detox drop so we can do it with you? You just go to my store. And if you're catching this on Facebook, scroll down. There's a link in there that goes right to the detox drop. Yeah, and get your detox drop. Order it sooner than later so that you have it. Right now, we got it down pretty good. So if a person orders today, we get it in the mail tomorrow, 3-day priority. And unless it's like a holiday, but we still, we can't get it in the mail on July 4th, but it would go out July 5th and it goes out 3-day. So that means you would have it probably Friday or Saturday. So there you have it. Okay. Is that it? Any more questions before I say bye? Yes, the detox is 7 days long. And if anyone's done my detoxes in the past, which I've been making these available for about 20 years, this detox drop is the best. You're not hungry. You're not killing yourself. You learn about nutrition. There's some really good stuff. Like, I strongly recommend it to everybody. And it integrates with the Diet for Your Life methodology. Let me see. Someone just posted a question. I can't see who you are. If I can't, that means you're in our private group. Unless you do like a dash with your name, then I can always acknowledge you with your name. But someone in the Facebook group says, my doctor wanted me on stats. I am going to quit taking them. Well, consult with someone like me. Talk to me. If you know me, post a question inside of the group. Like, why did they put you on statins? Was it your LDLs? Was it total cholesterol? What is your total cholesterol? And then let us give you some information so that you can communicate with your doctor. and you can tell them what you want to do. And I think that's the wise thing to do. So I'm not going to just blatantly go, oh yeah, stop taking them. I'm not a physician, but I'm informed. So I know how to communicate with physicians directly or communicate with you so you can communicate directly. And I've even, for some of my clients, I've even written letters, sent emails. I have them printed out and I say, take this in and give it to your nurse, physician assistant, or your doctor, and say, I'm working with a nutritionist. And then they'll just read that sentence or two or three, and then they'll know where I'm coming from. And then sometimes I can even make resources available. And that helps the doctors become more informed because they're just kind of just going through it, going through the motions. Let's see here. Lisa, did you ask another question? She says, so no rib tomorrow. So Lisa, watch this whole thing that I just talked about. Don't worry about eating cholesterol. Okay, even saturated fat I wouldn't be concerned with. The food is not causing the problem necessarily. And if you learn how to make fat-burning meals, which we teach, then you can have ribs. You can have coleslaw. You can eat all these different foods because you learn to eat them in the right proportions, right? That means the amounts, and combine the right way that will yield these results that I'm talking about. Okay? So you don't have to give up your ribs. Have some ribs. And then maybe keep it to slow carb veggies if you know what that means. And space your meals out. And enjoy the 4th. It's a great time to just acknowledge our independence. And our independence also in being able to make decisions on our own when it comes to food and our health. So enjoy that rib. I may even go buy one myself. Okay, let's see here. This is, Catherine, what's up, Catherine? I am taking them. We should talk about it. Yes, Catherine, you are on my list. Yes, let's talk about it. Actually, I'm going to email you a couple of seminars I want you to watch. They're on YouTube, and I will send those to you as soon as I hang up here, okay? So watch them at your convenience, and you're going to find them very interesting, intriguing, and everything that you're going to see is backed up with it's all substantiated. All of it. So it's not like we're just making up stuff. Again, I will forward that to you. It's all about being informed. And in the words of my favorite book, which is very clear when it says, my people perish for the lack of knowledge. My people perish for the lack of knowledge. Woo! Boy, doesn't that resonate when it comes to this. All right. Hey, you guys have a good one. I know I'm going to check it. I'm going to come out sometime on July 4th. I'm going to share a Fat Loss Tuesday for sure. I want to give a big shout out to one of my clients, Melissa. I hope you catch this, Melissa. Melissa hit her 71-pound benchmark today. Very proud of this young lady. She's off all medications. Congratulations. And then Marilyn, I hope you hear this. She's a new client of mine. Her husband is doing this with her. I love it when husband and wives do this together. Her blood sugar levels are down. His was like hanging out at 150 plus every day. He's down under 110 already. And they're eating and they're not missing anything and they're not craving anything. They are rocking and rolling. So kudos to you, Marilyn and Melissa. You guys are doing great. Oh, yeah. And big shout out to Linda. I think Linda was on here. Linda's down 102 pounds. I'm like, lady, you're going to disappear. And she's off statins. Linda's a great, she was just on here. She was listening live. I saw Linda on there. She's off all these medications. I mean, Linda, you are the epitome of what can happen when you learn about food as medicine and you put it to work. Okay, so Lisa, what's up? She says, my husband shared this information with me too. He hates that I'm taking them. Well, that's your husband. He loves you. He loves you. It's like my mom. I love my mom. So the things I recommend to my mom, to family members, to my kids, I love them. I just happen to be in this space. This is what I do for a living. This is my profession. And if your husband is like aware and he's probably watched some things or read some things, yes. Now it's time to, step it up. Let's get informed and then you can get off of that stuff. All right. All right, you guys. Hey, have a great rest of your day. Enjoy your 4th. Enjoy those ribs. Okay. I'll probably do the same thing. Okay. Until the next one, I'm Robert Ferguson. Thank you. And if you have questions, reach out to us directly at dietfreelife.com. Peace.